Who are you?
Kool Keith.
Kool Keith, is Black Elvis in the building? What's going on?
Black Elvis is always in the building. I'm here chilling out in Vancouver, ready to do this thing the right way.
Kool Keith, were you the very first rapper to wear a jersey on stage?
I was one of the first wearing the jerseys, the wigs, the capes, all the different clothing and costumes that you see most of your rappers today trying to wear.
What I thought was really amazing is you wore a Vancouver Grizzlies jersey. How did that happen, that you wore a Vancouver Grizzlies jersey? Because they weren't too popular.
I'm a person who likes different jerseys. I don't like to wear a jersey because the team is winning. I think a lot of people buy a lot of jerseys. Like if the Canucks win, you'll see a lot of people starting to buy a Canucks jersey who never won one in their life.
When you wore the Vancouver Grizzlies jersey, what sort of reactions did you get? Because you wore it for a couple of years, and that's pretty amazing.
I was always the first guy wearing off-brand jerseys because New York always had the Knicks, the Nets, and, the Mets, Yankees, and Jets. I was the first guy wearing Spurs, San Antonio, whatever it was. If it was Vancouver Grizzlies, it could have been Boston Bruins. I was just the weird collector of those throwbacks and stuff for years. Hockey and basketball, Buffalo Braves. I would have a Washington Bullets jersey or something.
Keith, in honor of you wearing a Vancouver Grizzlies jersey, I'm wearing something that you like quite a bit.
Oh,
a T-shirt from
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. How did you get that?
I've been to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. It's amazing. Is this your favorite place in L.A., Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles?
You must have. Did you order that online or did you go there?
No, I bought it. Actually, it's 4 times extra large.
Oh, you went there? You had your chicken and waffle combination?
Yeah, it was like sweet and sour. It was like totally amazing.
I like that. A chicken type of spice with some syrup.
Well, I saw, because, you wore the Vancouver Grizzlies. I got to wear your jersey. I mean, is this your jersey, would you say, Kool Keith?
Well, I like Roscoe's, but you like it as a jersey, huh? You should cut the sleeves off, make it more into a jersey.
And you are Kool Keith here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And Kool Keith, going back to the Ultramagnetic MCs, 2 brothers. You had a shout-out there to the Montreal Expos in that song, didn't you?
I always had a lot of Montreal Expo shout-outs. Remember Montreal Expos, we always were very Canadian with our lyrics. We always had a lot of Canadian lyrics.
Yeah, what other lyrics did you shout out to there, Kool Keith?
When I had Vancouver, I used to have a lot of teams. All the Canadian teams, I had put them in my lyrics. They all somewhere in some of my songs.
That's totally amazing. Did you ever come up and play Canada at all, Kool Keith?
I did Canada a few times, Warped Tour. I did Canada by myself a couple of times.
Did the Ultramagnetic MCs ever come up to Canada?
Ultra never been up here. That's wow. Ultra never made it to Canada.
Kool Keith, what is rap? What is rap?
Rap is Kool Keith. Rap is the original element. Rap is the Bronx. Rap is the origination. Rap is the streets. Rap is the lights. Rap is the lamppost. Rap is Grandmaster Flash. Rap is Kool Keith.
Rap is the chains, too. The chains. Like, what do you think about the chain?
What is that about that chain? That's very different. What is the end? Is that like...
That's me, Nardwuar, the human serviette.
Right.
So that is rap. And speaking of lampposts and stuff, Kool Keith, what are your memories of plugging into the lamppost way back then in the Bronx? Were you growing up in the Bronx? What was your first exposure to hip-hop? What did you see?
Well, I used to go to a lot of Bambaataa shows when I was a kid in junior high school. I would go to a lot of the Grandmaster Flash stuff, the PAL. And I was smart, and I used to see Flash jamming with the SLB1s. Way before the techniques.
Those are like the belt turntables, right?
Way before the techniques had the red lights. Remember, they had orange lights. A lot of the cats don't know that, though. The techniques had, they had the B1s and the SLB2s and D1s, like belt drive and non-belt drive, direct drive and belt drive.
And you were mentioning that in your songs, too.
Yeah, with the B1s. I was one of the songs on Ultramagnetic album, on Make It Funk Your Head Up.
So, Kool Keith, did you witness any battles back then? I was just curious, because a lot of these artists were playing high schools and stuff. Did you witness any battles that were going down? What are some influential battles you may have seen, Kool Keith, back then?
Well, there was a lot of equipment battles back in the days. It was Mario and speakers and who had the powerful system. Herc had the biggest sound system, but it was always about Mario's sound system. Everybody would sometimes use Mario's system. Some Spanish guy with Disco King Mario had the biggest set. You can hear from 10 blocks away. You hear Mario's set and against Herc and all that.
Kool Keith, were you affected at all by Blackout 77, that big blackout that happened?
I like that blackout in 77. I think I was wearing quarterfields then, and I had my overlaps, and those were the years of Pumas and Pro Kids. Like that was a real impact year.
That was 77. I was thinking that rap really expanded quite largely then, because a lot of people were able to steal turntables, wasn't that?
Yeah, I guess that what they were looting at that time. I guess a lot of B1s were stolen, and a lot of mics were stolen. But we didn't have a lot of mics. We had, we didn't have big brands. Wasn't big, like JVC and stuff wasn't big. It was like Realistic was big. Realistic was big.
Radio Shack.
Radio Shack was big.
I think Radio Shack helped Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah, Radio Shack, Realistic. We had the Echo Chamber. You bought it. Remember the Echo Chamber? Yes, you're. Remember? You had the Echo Chamber, you were big. You were a big guy.
Kool Keith, you were in the Ultramagnetic MCs, of course. Your label mates, I think, were Salt and Pepper. You had Salt and Pepper on your label, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Salt and Pepper was my label mates. Who else was my label mates? Kings of Pressure was my label mates. Black Rock and Rob was my label mates.
That's what I was kind of wondering, Kool Keith, is Salt and Pepper are your label mates. What do you think about Salt and Pepper? Do they get the props that they deserve, like them and Kid and Play, for putting rap into the mainstream?
I think Salt and Pepper did get credit. I think they did enough for the music industry. They were the first girls, that was fly making it happen. And they opened a lot of doors for a lot of these new girls out who don't know that. But Salt and Pepper did open a lot of doors for the girl rappers.
How about Kid and Play paving the way for acting rappers with the House Party trilogy?
I like Kid and Play. Matter of fact, I seen Kid not too long ago in L.A. He's doing good. He's doing his thing, and that was the first break, like you said, for acting. They paved the way for actors rapping.
The hair is gone from Kid and Play, though, isn't it?
He was with his girl. Yeah, he don't have his fade no more.
Kool Keith, are you the most sampled rap voice ever?
I think me and Rakim is probably the most. I mean, from house music to techno to trance to ambience to drum and bass, I think you could say that, yeah.
I mentioned earlier people aping the jerseys that you wear. What other things have been taken from you, Kool Keith? You're mentioning the wigs.
The wigs, I mean, just a lot of the whole image of myself, just a lot of the personas, and when I use a nickname for a record, the AKA, that was a big thing that was taken away from me. Everybody's AKA somebody, AKA this, AKA that.
Like you were calling yourself 3000 before Andre 3000, right?
I was calling myself 4000, matter of fact, with way back, 4000.
What do you think about the Outcast, Kool Keith? Because, they're doing that shout-out to what's cooler than being cool. Are they doing a shout-out to Kool Keith?
What's cooler than cool? It sounds very, very personal, but I think Andre is a very talented guy. I like Outkast because I gave him a lot of inspiration, and without me, I mean Missy Elliott, all of them groups, they probably learned a lot from me in general, from me giving them inspiration and wearing the clothes and just the whole phenomenal thing that's starting to happen that a lot of record labels are realizing right now, that they thought that stuff wasn't created, but now it's created and now it's on a bigger scale. I'm glad that I feel good as a a very inspiring artist toward their success, and one of the mentors that gave them that whole insight and input. Because the clothes that those groups are wearing and the things they're doing, I've been through that stuff, and the styling and stuff. I've seen a lot of those clothes that I turned down that they're wearing. So it's good that they broke the way, because I didn't want to clown myself too much to go further into it. But, the record company, has their ways, and they had to go that route. And I have a limitation towards as much as I could do.
Kool Keith, have those people acknowledge you at all? Because I understand you ran into at one time Jay-Z and he just walked right by you. What's going on? Did he ever know who you are? Like, did he ever say anything to you? Like, would Missy ever put you on, like, as a freestyler or let you do a remix or something?
I think a lot of the new groups are insecure. I think they have a lot of pride. They have a lot of over-pride. I think they forgot about the people who are the legends and stuff like that. I think people got to learn how to respect a person. Like, when you see Michael Jackson, it's nothing you could do but bow down. When you see Marvin Gaye, it's nothing you could do but bow down. When you see James Brown, it's nothing you could do but give it up.
And when I say Kool Keith,
it's nothing you could do but bow down. and that's the honest truth. I just think a lot of those rappers feel bad. They just don't have enough courage to come up and say, you're one of the great persons out there.
have any of them done that? Like, has any of them done that, come up to you?
Some do, some don't. I think some, it's like me. I respect a lot of people that were ahead of me before my generation of rap, before the era of Public Enemy, the golden age, before Rakim, before before you had the LL Cool J's and the Run DMCs, but I still honor my respect to Melly Mel, because without Melly Mel, I wouldn't be rapping. Without Grandmaster Caz, I wouldn't be rapping. So I think these new kids have a lack of respect. They just don't know the legends. You know what I'm saying? I respect Sly Stone.
Kool Keith, I asked you a little bit about what's been taken from you. What are you doing now that people are going to take from you? Like, what are you doing right now, do you think, that people are going to take from Kool Keith?
They're waiting for an idea right now. I'm getting ready to do, I'm going to rap on top of house, a lot of house, probably. They're going to take that and flip that their way and say they created that.
How about wearing white toques like you're wearing, like white toques? What do you think about that?
They'll take anything I do, because the industry is not that creative, so they're waiting for an avenue to break into, to go to do their thing. I just feel they don't have the creativity as I have. I think what keeps me going is that when they steal something from me, I go to something else, and that's where a professional comes into play. So I've seen it to the T. I mean, rappers take everything I wear: sneakers, hats, coats, capes, pants. It's been done all the way around the board.
Kool Keith, I love the way you take charge of the business. Like, you actually check stock of your CDs, don't you? Don't you go into CD stores and arrange your own CDs?
All the time. I go in there and check out my stock all the time. I check stock. I look around. I go to every city, see what's going on, go through my library, see if all my records are around there, and ask what's going on. And
like, what are the tips for the kids there, Kool Keith, if they've got a CD out? How do you get attention of somebody in a CD store? Like, what do you do to the Kool Keith CDs?
You move them around. You put them around everywhere. You move them around. Put them at eye level contact. Retail, eye level.
Kool Keith, what's wrong with the swim? You've talked about the swim. What's wrong with the dance, the swim? What's the deal on the swim?
Well, the swim is a dance that when I used to watch the Beach Boys, like, sir, everybody's going surfing. But I've never seen a lot of people doing the swim more than ever in a more of a sellout mode. So the swim is big now in urban communities. So I'm like, I didn't never think it would get that far. Like, I didn't think the swim would get that far. I'm very shocked.
Kool Keith, you've often said that Missy Elliott works too hard. Why is Missy Elliott working too hard?
Through the pressures that we have gone through for our music, our urban street music and culture. I think a lot of groups, and including the stuff that they make these particular artists do, I think they're working extremely too hard because, the dancing, the costumes, it's a lot of work. I mean, I can imagine it's a lot of work, and some people need to rest and take that time and to settle down and don't let it just overwork you too much, because it's like you're dancing, It's like me and Jackie Jasper used to talk about it's like a step and fetcher thing. Like it's like Scatman hat, like when you know what I'm saying? Like it's like when you don't want to handle. I don't want to handle too much. It's too much. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Kool Keith, you love ass, don't you? You love ass, don't you?
I love ass. What?
What did it feel like when Princess Superstar started loving your ass with Kool Keith's ass?
Well, I got to tell you something strange about that. I was riding around in a car, and this is before I really got to know her, but she's a good person. I was riding around in a car, and she actually had a secret tape recorder and taping us talking. And instead of maybe asking me to rhyme on a song, she taped the record. She taped me on a private secret tape and put it on her music without no clearance or nothing like that. So it was strange. I mean, what else can happen to Kool Keith? I get weird gifts from fans. They give me pink pickle juice with pickles in a big jar with pink lemonade around pickles.
What did you do with it?
I just get on my tour bus and say, what is this? What is this?
Kool Keith, I understand also you like to pleasure yourself at Macy's sitting room. What's that all about?
Macy's, I love Macy's. I think I go shopping, I look around, I collect. What I do, I collect a lot of perfume. A lot of people don't like to wear perfume. I like to collect all the perfumes, all the men's colognes. I'm a specialty buyer, and I think that's a big thing for me. That's a big thing for me, and I enjoy being around in department stores, looking at the top shirts, the top colognes, and I don't wear cheap suits.
You think this is cheap?
A lot of rappers wear cheap suits. No, I'm saying seriously, like not no Italian-made brands, very church-looking cheap suits. No, it's no quality to it. The material.
What about this bling, Kool Keith? Does this meet your approval?
I just want to ask you something. Is this real? Is it brass or is it real?
It was given to me as a gift. I think it is real. I think it is real.
What is it more like brass? I like it because you could more like get away with it because you're more of a alternative guy. You have a good look. It's more like it fits you, but another guy couldn't get away with it because it plays right into the part of your image. It's not like you're trying to overfloss what you have, and it fits you perfect.
Well, thank you, Kool Keith. I was still wondering, though, Yankee Stadium. You like to pleasure yourself at Yankee Stadium. What's that all about? Pleasure yourself.
Well, the Yankees are the top team out there. I mean, the Bombers always win every year. I think we win more than hockey. We win more than basketball. We win more than soccer. It's the house that Ruth built. It's a couple blocks away from my house. What can you do? I mean, Yankee Stadium, Reggie Jackson,
And you like to pleasure yourself there.
Mickey Rivers.
Is that I like to pleasure a woman at Yankee Stadium or in the fitting room?
I like Yankee Stadium because it's a legendary place to go. When you right there, and it's that's all the Bronx have. That's our inspiration.
Kool Keith, you have the song Drugs. What exactly is that about? You name a lot of names, Kool Keith.
Drugs, I used possibly every singer, rapper, rock star that was on drugs including everybody who gets high and who went through the most problems, immense problems. And I named them all, and I put them in a song. And it was kind of a message. It was a song more catered to the rehabilitation of everybody. But those people that I mentioned, everybody went through a hard time, a struggle. Now I hope everybody gain and come back and do what they have to do, because the industry will turn you to drugs. It's like some people are still messing with other things right now, still acting like they're from the 70s.
You're very brave, Kool Keith. Not many people name names, do they, like that? Like, that's a real naming thing. That's almost like 50 Cent's How to Rob. Actually, would that have influenced 50 Cent's How to Rob?
50 Cent, I guess he did what he had to do. Like, but a lot of people are coming bold now. It's just like, it's a way you put your songs and make them feel, but it was, sometimes you just got to say some true stuff. I may name names, but things I say is not false. It's just different things I might say. It makes the song a little better.
Kool Keith, winding up here, have you ever met Michael Jackson, or have you ever been in any award shows with him or anything like that?
I seen Michael Jackson in L.A. one day, and he came into IHOP.
No way.
Yeah, he had like 4 Secret Service men, and the lady said he likes IHOP. He likes pancakes. He likes to come in there. And it was him. He had 4 bodyguards. They were like, presidential, suited up. They had headpieces, and they went up there and they did it. They did their thing. But he didn't stay. He came and looked. It was kind of crowded on a Sunday, and he left. And I was like, wow, that's Mike. See Mike in the presence. Mike was there chilling.
Kool Keith, what about Nas? Are you down with Nas and some of the other New York crews?
I like Nas. I think Nas is a good lyricist that people have to know. It's just like, I think he's a good storyteller. I mean, Nas is good to me. I don't have nothing against Nas.
How about the Black Eyed Peas? Are they kind of like the Village People of rap?
The Black Eyed Peas are pretty cool. I did a lot of shows with them. I mean, I've bumped into them many times on the road. We had connected and did many venues together. So I think it's good. I'm glad a lot of the groups are starting to get their props due right now, because some people deserve it, because they paid a lot of time and put a lot into this music.
Kool Keith, what about Kanye West? He's a big name that's out there along with Kool Keith.
I never heard of Kanye West. Who is that? I never heard of him. I'm just saying I'm not in rap that much. I never heard of Kanye West. Who is that? I never heard of him.
Just some dude. Not as important as cool.
I'm saying seriously, who is Kanye West?
Just some dude, some Jay-Z associate that's just shooting up the charts right now.
Because I don't really listen to radio or watch TV no more. I listen to like African music and stuff like that. I don't know who that is. I'll probably check out my TV soon, watch TV, I'll find out who it is.
Kool Keith, just winding up here lastly, I was curious, with Ultramagnetic MCs, did you get ever involved in any beef at all with anybody? Did you have any big battles yourself that you went back and forth between people, between crews?
I think the battles back in the days were more professional. We had our own inside things. Like, I think the battles were more professional. We were, everybody had their lyrics differently. I mean, the battles were different. It was like, we had our Bronx, our Brooklyn, our Queens. We had our boundaries. So I don't think we had battle. I think the Ultra album was pretty solid and straight. I don't think we had a lot of battles. I think it was just all styles. Everybody's different styles from those 80s, and everybody had different styles. So we were competitively battling with sound and styles. De La had the sound, we had a sound, Public Enemy had a sound, Eric B. and Rakim had a sound, Boogie Down Productions had a sound, Marley Marl had a sound. We were all distinctive with sounds. Everybody had distinctive sounds. Now everybody sounds alike.
How about about you, Kool Keith? Black Elvis, is he really gone? I'm asking this again. Is Dr. Octagon gone? What's coming back? Your fans are wondering. And are you the most prolific artist in rap?
Well, Dr. Octagon, to me, is gone. I mean, I think I gave a lot of input into that project, and I created more people. It's like I made that happen. Elvis was symbolizing my whole life as me as Black Elvis, the prominent legend of rap. So I'm moving on to other things now. I mean, even with Octagon, you know, I gave Automator his life and gave him a form, and I worked with Kurt and gave him a form. So it's like everybody I work with, I just want to give people a chance to prosper. You know, I might do an album with a little baby or something and make that person happen. I felt, a lot of the gifts and inspirations that I gave people, I feel honored that I helped them out. You know, some people change after a long time. They don't associate with me because they feel like I gave them the legs and gave them their walkers to learn how to walk from crawling. And I made a lot of people happen, and the public misunderstood a lot of misconceptions and made people feel more than they really are. So a lot of people went off thinking they were more stars than ever, and people believed what they heard. And sometimes I just disconnect myself from those type of projects.
Kool Keith, on the Warped Tour, lastly, was there a problem between the D12 crew and Isham and you guys?
I don't know. I think Isham and D12 had their own differences from Detroit, but I didn't have nothing to do with none of that. You know, that was something from in the past that they were dealing with, but I didn't have nothing to do with that. So I just kept doing the whole tour and just kept moving on. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing involved with me. So that was something from way back that I didn't even know about. So we just kept it at that. So matter of fact, on that Warped Tour, I didn't even really hang out around that venue, around those venues at that time. I was going more out to the malls and buying clothes and partying and going to a little pub, have a little beer here and there. And I didn't really hang out too much to hear what was going on with that whole situation. I didn't stay around the Warped Tour until my stage time was called. So I came back to the venue just enough in time to get back on stage. So I partied, like, it was a real good tour. I just partied and hung out. I saw Kevin Lyman here and there. It was fun. And
do you have any favorite places in Toronto or Vancouver?
I love the magazine shops around here. I think they're very cool. Like, they sell those books for like $3, and it's like when you get in New York, those books are like $10. And I love Granville. Real good street. Real exciting. You know.
Kool Keith, lastly here, is there Kool Keith cereal yet? Has it been made?
Well, I'm talking to General Mills right now. I'm talking to Kellogg's, and we're in a moment of discussion. We're supposed to have Kool Keith bean cereal. Kool Keith beans. It's going to be little beans with little pieces of rocks in it, like little white rice. And it's going to be called Kool Keith beans. It's sweet beans. They call it sweet beans. Kool Keith sweet beans. When they come out, they're going to be hot. Sweet beans. Kool Keith sweet beans.
I got it. Anything else you want to add to the people out there at all, Kool Keith?
Just keep listening to my music. Go around, check out what I'm doing. Stay on my websites and look around and observe. And I have many albums out there. I have the new Lost Masters. I have a new album coming out this summer. I have another album coming out that nobody have. And I have the Personal album coming out. It's cool. I'm going to give you a copy of the Personal album.
Thank you, Kool Keith. Actually, Kool Keith, why should people care about Kool Keith? Why should people care?
Because I'm an innovative person, one of the most prominent professionals in the music industry. I'm different, distinctive, not like no one other. I'm one of the best MCs in the universe. I write, I do my own production. I don't sound like anybody else. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm distinctive. You're always going to get 16 tracks of funk, consistency, distinctiveness, originality, and of course, gratitude.
And sex.
And sex.
And spaceships.
And spaceships and aliens.
Well, thanks so much, Kool Keith.
But I still want to plug Kool Keith beans. Sweet beans. Kool Keith sweet beans from Kellogg's. You like that?
Get them now while they're hot.
Kool Keith sweet beans. But you know what it is? It's beans really made from lima beans, but they put sugar on them, and they freeze them over for about a month, and they're going to put them in the box, let them get hard.
What's going to be on the box cover, Kool Keith?
It's going to be a green little monkey with a bowl of beans with cornbread on the side.
Well, thanks so much.
More better than better box than Sugar Smacks or anything. Kids will love them.
Kids love you, Kool Keith. Thanks for your time. Keep on rocking in the free world and doot-doodaloo-doo.
It's the man.
Almost, Kool Keith. Doot-doodaloo-doo.
Dun, dun.